Hi, everybody. Welcome to Functional Training and an official welcome back to Seneca College for the fall 21 semester. So hope everyone had a great summer and finished off there with a lovely long weekend. And we're here back in athletics and recreation to get you moving and to stay well. My name is Mike. I'm a sport recreation coordinator here at Seneca College in athletics and recreation, and I'll be here every Tuesday to give you a functional training workout. So let's get started with a warm up. We're going to be standing right here with an extra wide stance with your feet. And all you're going to do is you're going to begin to shift your weight left to right, just a lateral shift. And when you're going down, one side of your body is lowering. So you're going to extend one leg while the other leg bends, and you're not going down too far like this. It's just a shift left to right, good dynamic stretch. And we're going to do a lot of fun movements involving balance and coordination, a lot of core stability, sport specific movements, but also some intermediate movements as well. So now we're going to start to increase the range of motion. I want you to keep facing forward. Don't look down to the floor. And I want you to take one hand and point it towards the floor. And eventually, your goal is to try to touch the floor. And it's going to force you to go down nice and low. As you can see, we've increased our range of motion in the last 30 seconds to minute. And this is our end goal, is to be able to go back and forth, keeping a nice strong athletic stance, feet planted on the floor, nice low lateral side to side lunge. Okay, we'll go a couple more here. Legs are starting to warm up. Heart rate is increasing a little bit. And we're going to finish right there. Excellent. Great. So you should feel that a little bit in your lower body. And what we're going to be doing now is we're going to, just one second. Hi, welcome.
Hi, Mike. Long time no see.
Yeah, for sure. Welcome back. Okay,
Yeah.
So here we go. We're on the floor now, and we're going to perform a total body exercise known as the bird dog. This is really great to get the core engagement warmed up here, as well as the coordination and balance. So in all four positions, so hands and knees, what you're going to do is extend your left leg straight back, and you want to lift it a little high, a little higher than keeping it just here, but lift it nice and high to engage the glutes. And then you're going to raise your opposite arm, so the right arm, and you're going to extend that forward, the Superman style here. Okay, so you're going to have your left leg and your right arm extended up, and try to hold that position for a few more seconds. Really engage all the muscles before we start moving. Now the fun part, so slowly you're going to bring your right elbow to your left knee, and you're going to meet in the middle underneath the trunk of your body. So like this, touch each other, and then extend out. Nice and slow. You'll notice I'm not doing any ballistic movements, nothing too fast. That's it. And every time you extend out, hold that for 1 to 2 seconds, and then bring it back in. We'll go for 3, 2, squeeze, and 1 more, hold, and finish. Excellent. Stay in that same position, opposite sides. So now your left arm and your right leg extended forward. And a few cues to help you improve your posture is to make sure that when you lift your leg up, that your hips stay nice and level so that you're not tipping to one side. Okay, so that'll really help you engage the core and the glutes better. And then your left arm is forward, and you're going to hold that for a couple more seconds to engage them, get the muscles woken up before we start the movement. And here we go. So meeting in the middle, underneath the body, touching the knee to the elbow, extending forward, and repeat. We'll go for 5, hold. 4, 3, 2, 1 more extension. Extend, hold, and finished. Excellent. So if you do that properly, you should really feel your glutes your shoulders, your core, pretty much total body, stretching and strengthening, engaging, getting it all warmed up. Okay, and while we're on the floor, we're going to do another upper body mobility exercise. So this is our scapular push-ups. So on your knees, and then lift your feet off the ground. You're going to be in a push-up position. So your hands directly underneath your upper body, your shoulders. And instead of doing a full push-up, all we're going to do is keep the arms extended, and we're going to squeeze the shoulder blades together. So I want you to basically drop your body down, but keeping the arms extended, and then squeeze them out. So squeezing in, and then out. So you're retracting and protracting. So here and out. Just the shoulder blades, that is all you're doing. Really helps stabilize the upper body and the shoulder girdle when you're doing upper body movements or stabilizing. Helps improve your posture as well from sitting all day at the desk. So again, keep your arms straight. It's a very small, subtle movement, all up in the shoulder blades. One more, and done. Excellent. Okay, now we can stand back up again and get moving. All right. Okay, excellent. So for those of you that are new to the functional training class, you'll know from the description that this involves a lot of multi-joint movements, which basically involves the whole body in one multitasking kind of position. So instead of just one small muscle group, you're working many at once, which is a lot more functional. Okay, but we also include a lot of balance and coordination, which is a quite overlooked component to health and fitness. So what we're going to do to start is what's called a 3-point lunge. And for those of you that aren't new, this is always a good challenge to do anyway. So what you're going to do is 3 different lunges. So forwards, sideways, and reverse right behind you. Your left foot, the one that's planted on the floor, does not do anything. It just stays in position. So the other foot is going out on a journey to 3 different positions: forwards, back, side, return, back, return. Okay, so let's keep this pattern going so you get really comfortable with it. And then I'm going to throw something at you to make it more difficult. Forward, side, reverse. One more time. Forward, side, and reverse. Now, continuing in that pattern, what I want you to try to do is to lift your foot off the ground and bring your knee to your chest with each lunge. So like this. And then raise. So you'll notice it's a lot more difficult to balance. So you can't set your foot down. You have to go right to the next movement without dropping your foot down like that. Okay, so a couple more times. Here we go. Forwards, lift, side, lift, reverse, lift. Last time, 1, lift, and done. Okay, all right. So lots going on there, a lot of coordination, a lot of dynamic balance, but it's really effective, improving overall fitness. So here we go, other side, starting with the regular 3 points, no leg lift. Here we go. Make sure you have enough room beside you. Let's go 2 more with this pattern. Last one. Okay, now the hard part, incorporating the leg lift. This is going to be tough on this side. And again, without setting that foot down on the floor in between the transitions. One more time. Lunge, lift, side, lift, reverse, and lift. Excellent. Okay, that was great. So this is an active recovery. So try to stand up still, don't sit down, stay moving. And then we'll go into our next exercise. So you will need a hand weight for this. So if you can go ahead and grab a dumbbell or an object that you can use. Okay, so again, because this is our first session of the fall semester, I'm going to leave some of our progressions that maybe our returning student participants have already completed for the next upcoming sessions, but I'm still trying to incorporate the same components. So what we're going to do is a unilateral exercise. So much like what we kind of just did in the warm up there with the 3-point lunge, is focusing on one side of the body, doing the movement, while the other side of the body is stabilizing. And this is where the balance comes in, the coordination, and a lot of stability and strength that's developed over time. So what we're going to do, in simple terms, you're going to bend over with one leg, set a weight down, and then you're going to bend over and pick it up. That's as simple of a definition as you can get. But to make it a bit more detailed, you're going to bend the front knee slightly, and you're going to extend your back leg as far back as you can go and bring it forward. And same thing for when you pick it up, bending, extend the back leg, picking up the weight, and return. Okay, now the hard part, of course, other than doing it on one side, is the balance. So you'll notice that right away, the dynamic balance is much more difficult when you isolate one side of the body. It's really noticeable. And we all need to do it and maintain it pretty much our whole lives. So it doesn't matter how fit you are or experienced, it's always a challenge. So if you're gonna try this, go ahead and grab that weight beside the front lead foot. And then on the return, you're doing the same thing. Slowly return it, extending the back leg outwards and grabbing that weight. Try a few more times, okay? We'll go 2 more. And done. Okay, excellent. So you'll really feel that on one side of the body, the hamstrings that are lengthening as you go down to grab it, and then the glutes and the quads for the extension when you go to return. So here we go, other side of the body. So I'm using my left hand here. Right leg goes back to extend, grabbing with my left hand, and then return. Slowly lowering down, setting the weight down on the floor, and return to normal, and repeat. So the idea is slow and steady. That's where the muscles are really activated. If you use the momentum, you're not really working the balance. You're kind of cheating. So you want to go nice and slow, but it's still generating a lot of power and strength. So you don't necessarily have to do this fast. And if you want to gain the benefits of the balance component, you want to go nice and slow and really be mindful and focus on what the body's doing and maybe where you're struggling so that you can pinpoint it and improve upon it and change small little things. We'll go 2 more. 1 more each. Down to pick it up. And then to set it down to finish. And done. Okay, you'll feel that a bit there. Okay, active recovery again. So moving around, keep walking, Grab a quick drink of water if you need to. And we're still going to be standing up. So we're going to do a couple more exercises before we hit the floor. And you're going to need that same hand weight we were just using. Okay, so far we've included our lower body, some dynamic balance and coordination, and some strength and power on unilateral type exercise, so focusing on one side of the body while the other side stabilizes. So that component will repeat throughout the functional training workout sessions, and you're going to gradually improve your performance and your balance so that when you do a standard exercise with both sides, it's going to feel so much easier. Okay, so this next one will involve a bit more upper body, but most of the power is still generated with your legs. And we're focusing mostly actually on the torso rotation. So a lot of core strength comes from this movement. So this is called a wood chop. We have many different variations that we've done throughout our sessions. This one, we're going to start off again because it's our first day back after the break. You're going to hold that weight with both hands. You're going to stand about hip width apart, maybe a little closer together, so not too wide. And what you're going to do is you're going to squat down, lower the weights past the knee, so you can go knee or lower. And you're going to actually not just be here, but rotate so it's on one side of the body. And then what you're going to do is when you extend and stand up, you're going to follow through with a rotation movement. So we call that a wood chop, okay? But it can really be anything. Torso rotation. So again, down, hold for a second, and then on the way up, you're going to use the strength of the torso, the trunk rotation, so core strength. So it's not coming from your arms or your shoulders. We're not going to use that. It's actually the twist comes from the hips and the core muscles to follow through with that. So try to focus on that. Try to not use your upper body. My arms are staying extended, and I'm only finishing about shoulder level with the weight here. I'm not going above my head. So here, rotate, hold. Down, rotation, and hold. Let's keep this going. You're going to notice that you go down slower and up faster. But again, try not to go too fast until you've mastered the movement by using the core instead of your upper body for that follow through. Let's go 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Okay, now the other side. So feet shoulder width apart or hip width apart, lowering the weight down into a squat, and follow through. Down, follow through. Down slower, up quicker. That's it. Keep the arms straight. Focus on twisting from the hip. 2, 1 more. Follow through. Okay, excellent. Drop that weight down. Active recovery, stay moving. Okay, and then we're going to hit the floor now. Make sure you have that weight. You're going to need that still. Okay, before we go all the way down to the floor, it's important to control our breathing rate so that when we perform the exercises that require our attention and focus, that our heart rate's not too high, which can make certain tasks that involve balance and coordination, stability, much more difficult because all you're trying to do is control your breathing. Okay, so what we're going to do is 3 deep breaths from the knees and sit down on your heels. And you're going to raise your hands up
as you inhale through your nose, or through your mouth, sorry. Okay, so here we go. Inhale through the nose, out through the mouth. One more. Okay, great. So that'll be also a theme to help you remember that when you're performing exercises, it's always important to take a minute, gather yourself. If you want these workouts to have higher quality movements and you want to get the most out of your time while you're exercising, it's better to have better quality as opposed to more repetitions, right? So I know it's an old saying, but quality over quantity wins every time. So it's more effective and efficient if you can perform, 7 really good repetitions as opposed to 12 kind of not so good. Okay, so the breathing really helps kind of bring it back, focus, and you're ready to go. Okay, so we're going to be on the floor now in a prone position. So that's facing down. You're going to have that hand weight nearby. Hopefully you can see from the angle of my camera there. And what we're going to do is a variation of a plank, and it's going to involve an upper body movement. Okay, so we could call this the renegade row, but really it's just a plank with a one-armed row. So you're going to be from your hands under your shoulders and on your toes, and you're going to stabilize and hold this plank position. But to make it more interesting and more challenging is we always, for functional training, incorporate different components into one exercise. So you're going to have that weight right beside you, holding the plank, grab the weight, perform a one-armed row without rotating the whole body, setting it down, and then you're going to pull it to the other hand. Now the left hand is going to perform the row, and then you're going to pass it to the other hand, and you're going to keep going. So let's try this. Row, pass it to the other hand, row, and you're stabilizing the whole time. If you want a stronger base, spread the feet out further apart. Two more. And drop it down and relax. Okay, great. 3 deep breaths again while we're here. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Ready? One more. Excellent. Put that weight off to the side. You will not require that anymore. You're going to turn around so that you're sitting on the floor. And to finish off, what we're going to do is a reverse plank variation. So instead of being in a prone position, you're in a supine, so you're facing the ceiling. And we're going to use our upper body and our lower body to hold ourselves up in what we call a tabletop position. Okay, so what you're doing is planting your hands firmly on the floor and your feet on the floor. And you're going to lift your butt off the ground just a little bit, like so. And then you can lift a little higher and then back down. So just do a few of these hip thrusts to get the feel for this position. But then what we're going to do to make it more challenging, and for those of you returning, you know this exercise, we call it the break dancer, is you're going to actually, as you lift, rotate to one side. And you're going to lift one foot off the ground, rotate, and touch it with your opposite hand. So a lot of coordination here, right? So you're up, touch, back down. And then up, touch, back down. Here we go. So rotate, touch, touch. And not once will your body rest to the ground. You're keeping yourself off the ground the entire duration of this exercise. So your upper body is constantly at work, your lower body, core rotation, obviously a lot of coordination and balance, as you can see. For a few more here, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, and we're gonna relax here, head into our cool down and some stretches, okay? So while you're in this position, bring your feet together, holding this butterfly stretch, placing the elbows on the inside of the thigh, pressing down gently, and holding the stretch, feel it on the adductor, inside of the thigh muscle there. Also some hip flexor. Let's get that heart rate coming down. Control the breathing, just normal breathing. One leg is out, extended. Point that toe up and towards you, but do not grab it. Just hold the toe there while still pressing down on the other side. And switching sides. Again, point that toe up and towards you. You'll feel that stretch underneath in the hamstrings and calves. And pressing the weight down on this just a little bit and hold. And keeping this right leg in that position, you're going to take this leg, place it behind you. We're going to do what's called a pigeon pose stretch. So this leg is bent. Start off in this leaning position. Try to extend the leg behind you. Lift yourself up. So this is what it'll look like, is holding this position right here. This is a bit more of a difficult stretch to get into. And you'll know if you feel all sorts of weird sensations and discomforts and tightnesses that this is quite a difficult position. If you can't do this, I'm lifting off the ground, just set your weight down and hold it there instead and bend the back leg slightly. But if you can, try to extend the back leg and lift yourself over top of that front lead leg. And now we're going to drop down and switch sides. So now my left leg is in front bent and the back leg is going to be extended and I'm lifting over top and hold. And drop the weight down. Slowly transition to the knees. And now we're going to do a hip flexor stretch, very important stretch. So right leg in front, 90-degree angle with the knee. And you're going to rotate your body so that you're facing this way and then lean forward. That's where you'll feel that hip flexor stretching. Very important stretch, especially if you're sitting a lot, is to stretch out those hip flexors that are in a tight position all day from sitting. Now push back. We're going to go into it one more time. Try if you can to push a little bit further down. So lean forward a bit more and then back and rotate. Again, we're controlling our breathing, returning to a normal breathing pattern. Back, switching sides now. So that one's done. Left foot is in front. When you're ready, once you have that 90-degree angle, the front leg, then lean forward, rotate to the other side and hold. Okay, and then pushing back, returning to the stretch one more time. Try to push yourself a little further forward and rotate. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, and return and relax. Excellent. Okay, great. Thank you so much for joining week 1 of our functional training workout. I'm glad to see everyone back, and this will be posted on our IGTV and our video library on senecasting.ca. Thank you so much. Welcome back, everyone. Take care. Be well.
Thank you. Hi, Mike.
Hi.
Is there, I have a question. Is
Oh,
there
sure.